we're struggling with it. It says negative 5x equals 20. You have to do two things on your problem, on your test. You have to do two things. You have to solve for x, and you have to tell how many solutions. So if you're solving for x, check your answers. I divide by negative 5 on both sides. X equals negative 4. This is part of your answer. Yes, in one solution is the rest of the answer. Your problems on your test are going to look more like these, 4 through 6. Number 2, you have 6x plus 5 equals 21. You should be checking your answers. Minus 5 on both sides. You get 6x coming down. This goes away, equals 16. Divide both sides by 6. X equals. You need to reduce that fraction. Get a calculator if you don't have one. I'm showing you how to do it. You press alpha. Y equals. Enter. 16 down 6. Enter. It's 8 over 3. How many solutions? You have x equals a number. How many solutions? One solution. You have to write both of these answers. Number 3, you need to distribute the 4. You draw your arrows, 4 times x, then 4 plus 4 times negative 2 equals negative 20. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 equals negative 20. You add 8 on both sides. You get 4x equals negative 12. Divide both sides by 4. And x equals negative 3. This is one solution. Number 4, you have like terms on one side. You can't see them. I'm highlighting them. Negative 6x and negative 9x. 9x's minus 6x's is 3x's. 5 minus 7 is negative 2 equals 34. After that, you add 2 to both sides. You get 3x equals 36. This goes away. Divide both sides by 3. X equals 12. This is one solution. Number 5. You have 5 over 3 times 6x. You need to put this part in your calculator, or say 5 times 6 divided by 3. One or the other. I'm going to put it in my calculator. Second mode. Alpha y equals 5 down 6. Nope, 5 down 3. Times 6. I get 10. This becomes 10x. Minus 11 equals 19. You want to solve for the x term, you add 11 on both sides. This goes away. 10x's comes down, equals 30. Divide both sides by 10. X equals 3. You have one solution. Next one, you have to distribute 2 times 4 and 2 times negative x. So I have 6 plus 8 minus 2x equals 7 minus 9x. Combine the like terms. Here's my like terms. 14 minus 2x equals 7 minus 9x. After that, you add 2x to both sides. You get 14 coming down equals 7 minus 7x's. Then Subtract 7 on both sides. Negative 7 equals negative 7x. Divide both sides by negative 7. X equals 1. You have one solution. Yep. Sorry, you're right. It's positive and it's negative 1. So this class is going to start going to get a little bit faster in pace. So make sure you're doing your homework. Next problem. You have 4y's plus 5y's. That's 9y's. And then 6 minus 3, you get positive 3. Equals, I'm distributing. I get 9y's plus 3. Now, if you notice, you have the same thing on both sides. You don't have to solve anything else. You have the same things on both sides. 9y's here, positive 9y's there. Positive 3 here, positive 3 there. There are infinite y equals infinite solutions. Infinite solutions, or all real numbers. Y equals infinite solutions. You have the same thing on both sides. Number 8, we need to distribute. Have 8 times a, or 8a, and then plus 8 times negative 4 is negative 32, equals 12 times a, or 12a, 12 times negative 3, negative 36. I'm going to kick you out of my class if you don't pay attention and check the work that you have. Subtract 8a's on both sides. Negative 32 comes down. Equals 4a's minus 36. After that, subtract, add 36 on both sides. 4 equals negative 4a's. Divide both sides by negative 4. A equals negative 1. One solution. One solution. Next one, number 9. Have 9x plus 6 equals 9x minus 13. I add 13 on both sides. I get 9x plus 19 equals 9x. This goes away. Subtract 9x on both sides. I get 19 equals 0. That's two different numbers. There is no solution here. No solution. Number 10 says in Virginia, the temperature is 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Using the formula where F represents the temperature in Fahrenheit and C represents the temperature in Celsius, what is the temperature in Celsius? You plug the number in. F equals 9 over 5, C plus 32. The Fahrenheit temperature is 65 degrees. You replace F. Subtract 32 on both sides. You get 33 equals 9 over 5C. If you want to get rid of a fraction, you flip it over. You get the reciprocal. So here, to get rid of the fraction, I multiply by 5 over 9 on both sides. This goes away, and this goes away. I'm left with C in the middle. Equals. You should have gotten 55 over 3, or some decimal, or some decimal. Number 11, Natalia's pay after taxes is $9.50 per hour. That's $9.50 H. 9.50 times H. $9.50 per hour. She purchased new shoes for $55. So she took away some of her money. All right? She needs $3,175 for her vacation to Florida. How many hours does she have to work to pay for her shoes and her vacation? So, equals 3,175. Add 55 to both sides. 950 comes down. Your equations might be a little bit different if you added that money over there already. Equals 3230. 950 per hour equals 3230. Divide both sides by 950. Use the calculator. What do you get? Hmm? Hmm? 340. Karen, can you close the door, please? Alright, this is where I wanted to get to. So when you're doing questions like these, they're asking you to pull from the word bank here. Okay? Now before we get started, the associative property. This is where you have 3 things. They all equal each other. A plus B plus C equals A plus B plus C, right? This equals that. Now let's say we change the order that we do things. Let's say I wanted to add A plus B first, and then I added C. It's not going to matter if I go over here and add B plus C and then A. This is your associative property, your sliding parentheses. This is associative. You need to study the properties. Now if it's commutative, you have some quantity plus some quantity equals, you flip it over. That's commutative. If it's distributive, you'll see a number times some two numbers inside of a parentheses. And they will solve it out afterwards. They will simplify it afterwards. So your options here would be associative property of addition, addition property of equality. That's where you add 2 numbers. You add the same number to both sides. Here, distributive property. Division property, you divide by the same number on both sides. The commutative property looks like this, where you flip it over. Transitive property, you have 3 different groups. It's not going to be this one. But, so they say, look at step 1. What justifies what happened from? This is how you do it. from the step before to step 1. Look at step 1. Did they do anything to the left side of this equation?
No.
Did they do anything to the right side of the equation?
Yes.
So here's the right side. Let's highlight. Here's the right side. We get to step 1. Did they change it?
Yes.
Now, look over here. Here's the left side. Did anything change over here?
Yes.
What did they do? They distributed. That's how you know, that's how you answer these questions. So here, your answer, your first answer is going to be, what property justifies step 1? The distributive property. The distributive property. Okay? Now, let's look at step 2. Alright. So from step 1 to step 2, let's look at the right hand side first. That's the easiest place to start. Did anything change? On the right? No. Now let's look at the left. Look at what changed. Look at all of this. Now, did the 12x's change? No, those are the same. Now, did these change? What kind of property is that where you just flip things around? Hmm? Commutative. Think about, you go back and forth. It's commutative. They switched it around. Look, over here, I know it's side by side, but if you put them on top of each other, you can see they switch around. Okay? So this property is commutative. Commutative. Look at step 3. What are they doing in step 3? So which property do you think?
Property of equality.
Addition property of equality. When they're adding only. Look at step 4. What property are they doing? Division. So the addition property. So this is definitely going to be on your test. Yes. Given the equation 3x plus 8 equals 29, we choose to get rid of the 8 first. Which property are you using? Subtraction. Look at it. If you can't see it, you write it out. They said you get rid of the 8 first. That means you have to subtract on both sides. So subtraction. Good. Last, 14. Transitive property. It says fill in the blank. I told you before, when you're doing the transitive property, you need to write this out. The first statement. It says if 2x, write it out. Everybody. If 2x plus 3 equals x plus 1, and x plus 1 equals 2x, that makes no sense. 2x plus 3. Oh, that's x minus 1? It doesn't matter. Are they the same? Okay. So the transitive property, what you do, I told you before, cut out the middle. And it's the end parts that you want. You should end with 2x plus 3 equals 2x plus 3. Period. So all you do is cut out the middle on transitive property. You should always end with what you started with and what you ended with. Okay? Might not always be the same. Last part, to solve the literal equations. We're solving for g. I'm going to rewrite it. Fx minus g of x equals h. Circle what I'm solving for. Now, I need to get g by itself, the g term by itself. So I'm going to subtract f of x, or fx, on both sides. This goes away. gx comes down, negative gx comes down, equals comes down, and h comes down, minus fx. Now what? How do I get g totally by itself? What do I need to divide by? What kind of x? Negative x. You can't just divide x. It has to be a negative x. That's going to change some signs. It's going to change some signs. The g is going to become positive. That cancels, becomes positive. G comes down, equals. Put the negative right in the middle. Negative h over x. Negatives become positive. Plus f. What happens to the x? X's. They cancel. This is the answer. Number 2. Since gx plus x equals r, you're going to have to pull out the x. You're going to have to reverse distribute. So when you do reverse distribute, you can do it when you have the same term inside and you're solving for it. So you divide by x, parentheses, put parentheses around it and pull it out. Equals r. I don't think there'll be anything as hard as that on your test, but it's good to know for Unit 9. Now simplifying, I have x, parentheses, these cancel, g comes down, plus x divided by x is 1, equals r. How do you get rid of the quantity g plus 1? If you're multiplying, you divide. This goes away, x equals r over g plus 1. Last one, how do you get rid of a fraction? What do you want to multiply by on both sides? How do we get rid of this p? Multiply by p. You get pg equals, this cancels, x plus not n. After that, what do you want to do? Subtract x on both sides. I get pg minus x equals n. There's your answer. SOL questions. Any questions from any homeworks? We're going to do SOL questions. No questions from any homeworks. What page? Page 10, number 12. We're going to do SOL questions first, though. SOL questions first. Now it says, what is the equation c equals 9a squared b, solve for b in terms of c and a? So if you're solving for b, that's what they're asking you to do. You have c equals 9 times a squared times b. How do you get the b by itself? What terms do you need to get rid of? 9a squared. That means I need to get rid of this. I'm multiplying these things, so I divide by these things on both sides. This goes away. B equals C over 9a squared. What's your best answer here? B. Number 2, this is what is the solution to 3 times the quantity of 2x minus 1 equals 3? Let's distribute. 3 times 2x's is 6x. 3 times negative 1 minus 3 equals 3. Now what?
Add 3.
Add 3 to both sides. 6x comes down equals 6. What do you think the answer is?
C.
C. 1. Divide both sides by 6. X equals 1. Number 3. It says Jorge's cell phone plan costs $20 per month plus 15 cents per minute. So he's paying how much each month? $20 plus 0.15 per minute. What does per mean? Multiply. If his bill for the month is $84, how many minutes did Jorge use? You set up your equation. Solve for M. I'm going to let you do that. Number 4, it says write the solution to the equation. You can do that one on your own. This one, if you want to simplify this, you distribute. This becomes 9x over 3. It's like dividing by 3. Minus 6 over 3 equals 5x plus 3. Simplify, 3x minus 2 equals 5x plus 3. You need to solve for x. I'm not going to do any more than that. Number 5, you need to solve for x. Number 6, you have to solve all of those. Number 7, you need to do it. We'll go through number 7 now. Number 7, it says Michelle correctly solved the linear equation, and the last line of her work was 1 equals 2. Which statement best describes the solutions to the equations that she was solving? How many solutions does she have if you have 2 different numbers?
None.
No solutions. You have 2 different numbers, you end this way. You have no solution. This is the correct answer. You will never have 2 solutions. Never. Do the rest of these. When you're done, you have homework tonight. Oh, yeah. Questions on the other homework? Any questions on any other homework? Okay. You're done with your packet and you want a grade for it. This is a take-home quiz grade. Take-home quiz grade is due next week. Make sure it's all done. You want to turn it in next class? Okay. You can't turn it. You can't control the AC. Everybody should be working on something. Nobody should be talking. Unless you're working on work. If you want me to check your homework, you can come up. I can put the grade in. Yep. You don't have one, take one, work on it. Take home quiz. Yep. Homework. If you have your packet, you want to turn it in, please pass it up. You want what? Cody, can you please pass all the packets back, please? Anybody have their packet they want to turn in? I'm going to be taking up notebooks, binders next week as well. Binders next week as well. Oh. Where? Take Sam. Oh, wait. Yes. I don't know. We just saw them all play. No, it's the other one. Are you talking to me? Okay, my packet does not have a small page, and the last packet I have didn't have pages. I already, it's not. Yeah. No, it doesn't have it. That's the little pages in your homework. It's not in here. Then go get another one.